Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Remember, it's Flesh Africa. Do well to subscribe, comment and leave a like. The Kingdom of Benin, also known as Edo Kingdom or the Benin Empire, was a kingdom in West Africa in what is now southern Nigeria. It is not to be confused with Benin, the modern day nation state. The Kingdom of Benin capital was Edo, known as Benin City in Edo State. The kingdom was one of the oldest and most highly developed states in the coastal hinterland of West Africa. The historical kingdom of Benin was established in the forested region of West Africa in the 1200s and lasted until it was harnessed by the British Empire in 1897. The original people and founders of the Benin Kingdom, the Edo people, were initially ruled by the Ogoso, kings of the sky, who called their land Igodomi Igodo. The first Ogoso wielded much influence and gained popularity as a good ruler. He died after a long reign and was succeeded by Ire, his eldest son. A great palace in Shuj erupted, and Crown Prince Ekaladehan, the son of the last Ogoso, was sentenced to death as a result of the first queen deliberately changing an oracle's message to the Ogoso. In carrying out the royal order that he be killed, the palace messengers had mercy and set the prince free at Igohoton near Benin. When his father, the Ogoso, died, the Ogoso dynasty administrative center, the city of Ubinu, began to be known as Benin by the Portuguese, a pronunciation later adopted by the locals as well. The Portuguese would write this down as Benin City. Edo's neighbors such as Ishikiris and Urobos continued to refer to the city as Ubini up until the late 19th century. Benin City, formerly Edo, sprang up by around 1000 in a forest that could be easily defended. The dense vegetation and narrow paths made the city easy to defend against attacks. The rainforest, which Benin City is situated in, helped in the development of the city because of its vast resources: fish from rivers and creeks, animals to hunt, leaves for roofing, plants for medicine, ivory for carving and trading, and wood for boat building that could be exploited. The kingdom reached its greatest power and size under Oba Ewure the Great. He expanded the kingdom and improved the capital, present-day Benin City. The city was defined by massive walls. The height of power for Benin monarchs began during this period. To honor the powerful Obas, the people of Benin participated in many rituals that expressed their devotion and loyalty, including human sacrifice. Artists of Benin Kingdom were well known for working in many materials, particularly brass, wood, and ivory. They were famous for the bas-relief sculptures, particularly plaques, and life-size head sculptures. The success of Benin, fueled by its lively trade, tradesmen and artisans from Benin developed relationships with the Portuguese, who sought after the kingdom's artwork, gold, ivory, and pepper. In the early modern era, Benin was also heavily involved in West African slave trade. They would capture men, women, and children from rival peoples and sell them into slavery to European and American buyers. This trade provided a significant source of wealth for the kingdom. The walls of Benin are a series of earthworks made up of banks and dishes, called Iya in Edo language, in the area around present-day Benin City, the capital of the present-day Edo, Nigeria. They consist of 15 kilometers of the city Iya and an estimated 16,000 kilometers in the rural area around Benin. Some estimates suggest that the walls of Benin may have been constructed between the 13th and mid-15th century, and others suggest that the walls of Benin may have been constructed during the first millennium. Estimates for the initial construction of the walls range from the first millennium to the mid-15th century. According to oral tradition and travelers' accounts, suggest a construction date of 1450 to 1500. It is unknown whether slavery or some type of labor was used in the construction of the walls. The walls were built of a ditch and dike structure. The ditch dug to form an inner moat, with the excavated earth used to form the exterior rampart. The Benin walls were ravaged by the British in 1897 during what was come to be called the Punitive Expedition. Scattered pieces of the structure remain in Edo, with the vast majority of them being used by the locals for building purposes. What remains of the wall itself continues to be torn down for real estate development. By the 1800s, the Kingdom of Benin began to lose power, and the Obas struggled to rule their people. Benin was under threat from Britain. The British wanted to gain control of Benin so they could get rich by selling its palm oil and rubber. The Oba tried to stop all contact with Britain, but the British insisted on their right to trade. In 1897, a group of British officials tried to visit Benin. They were sent away because the Oba was busy with religious ceremony, but they decided to visit anyway. As they approached the borders of Benin, a group of warriors drove them back and several British men were killed. This attack made British furious. They sent over 1,000 soldiers to invade Benin. Benin City was burned to the ground, and the kingdom of Benin became part of British Empire, which became Nigeria after the country gained independence in 1960. After the time, the kingdom no longer played a governing role in West Africa. However, even today, the Oba still serves in Benin as a government advisor. Remember, it's Flex Africa, and do well to subscribe, share, and leave a comment.